This PLL Picks Week 7 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is giving away $15 million in Best Ball Mania 5. Sign up with SGPN to claim your first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm has all the best AI picks and projections, and their college football product is about to drop. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer? Dog.
I realized we woke up feeling dangerous yesterday, and I think we're going to light the internet by storm.
Why? How so, Ryan?
Because we put Russ Wilson on a graphic about betting on quarterbacks, and I realized what this is going to create.
What's that?
No, it's people coming after us, telling us we don't know ball, realizing that we just think Russ Wilson is sexy, and we're willing to admit it again. It's like when you go back to that reunion.
Russell Wilson at his high school reunion. He probably is the guy that shows up at the high school reunion, driving a Ferrari or something, trying to impress everyone. Hey, remember me? Everyone used to call me Danger Russ. Like, no, you can't give yourself a nickname. He is the perfect guy who would give himself his own nickname, Mr. Unlimited. People make fun of us, fine, but Kenny Pickett was 15-9 ATS in his career in Pittsburgh. So can Russell Wilson be as good as Kenny Pickett? I think so. I'm not crazy for saying that. And Ryan, clearly the thing that's lighting up the internet on fire is me versus Canada. The drama continues. Everyone coming after me for saying they're going to get under 6.5 gold medals. And while the Canadian women's soccer program was certainly a dark horse to win the gold medal, certainly took a step back today where their coach got suspended. A couple Canadian staff members got sent home because apparently there were mysterious drones flying over New Zealand's practice session for the Olympic soccer. So, and Ryan, didn't you say like Canada was like minus 380 to win that game, and they're still out there maybe pulling a Belichick?
Yeah, if you wanted to go the other way, I believe it's plus 950 to take is it New Zealand they're playing?
Yeah, New Zealand in 90 minutes. I think we have to play that, Ryan, just because.
Yeah, why are you cheating against the team that you're massive chalk against? I mean, they're not scheduled to win the tourney or anything, but man. Bad look for Canada, especially after all those people reached out to tell us how wrong we were about Canada.
Yeah. All right. Now getting back to sports people want to talk about, AKA Premier League Lacrosse. Joining us on the line to talk all things PLL, the Lax lad himself, Mr. C.J. Sullivan from the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, wearing his sweet Carolina Chaos hat. How we doing, CJ?
Good. Yeah, I'm rocking the Carolina Chaos hat. I wore it last week. We were back in the studio. Shout out to you guys out in Vegas. Not going to say you look like you're dragging, but I think I might have to carry some of this. So I have to do some dodging, if you will, and carry the show. But I was wearing this out after the show in Eagle Rock by the studio. Went to the famous Pizza Cucina down there since 1948. There in Eagle Rock. I was waiting outside, and I had my head in my phone like everyone else does in society, and I hear "Go Chaos, Go Chaos," and I look up, and there was some mop top teen in the wild. Recognized the hat first. I forgot I was wearing the hat. Gives me "Go Chaos." Oh my God! I got so excited. I'm like, oh my God, yes, Go Chaos. Go Blaze. Only Jesus saves more than Blaze. Blaze or Ramon. And he looked at me like, what? What are you talking about? I think he just
How
read
can
my
you-
hat.
How can you know chaos
Yeah.
without knowing?
I know.
Maybe
Right.
thought they were like a punk band or something.
Yeah.
We stumbled into something. But CJ, you are turning into the PLL sharp on a nice 11-5 run. 2-2 with your locks, which puts you way ahead of us. Although you and I are tied for a very not respectable lock percentage. Kramer though at the bottom was 17%. Although
That's up from 10%, isn't it?
yeah, it is up from 10%. We have discovered something with the auto blaze unders that came in, never in doubt, under 23.5. And again, anytime blaze is behind net, you got to take the under. That to me was like the real big takeaway, besides the Waterdogs being huge pieces of shit. And just, I mean, at this point, I'm moving on. I'm giving up on the Waterdogs. They have so much talent and they still can't figure out how to win games. It's insane. I've come to grips with the fact that they're losers. I feel like Ryan is still in denial about his Redwoods, who got shellacked. Shellacked.
There he is.
How do you lose by 7 to the Archers, Ryan?
When your team's down at the bottom, that's when they need you most, Sean. Classic front-running Philadelphia sports fan, only interested when things are going well.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, of course they're my squad, ride or die. And oh, by the way, we get 2 games this weekend. Let's go.
And finally in your time zone as well. They're if you ask me, Ryan, the Redwood season starts this week. This is the first legitimate games they get to play.
I'm with you. Unfortunately, we face each other, CJ. So
I know. It's
hopefully,
rivalry week.
No, maybe it can be a draw. Maybe we can just draw it out. We both win.
Yeah, they don't have draws. This is the PLL. They got the sudden death overtime. I know that because Waterdogs 0-2 in overtime. Their goal differential. I think this is the most they've lost by. Or no, they lost by. Let's see. They did lose by 4, but another 2-point loss. Their goal differential is still pretty good. I mean, Boston Cannons shocked the world, upsetting the New York Atlas. And what's up?
Who?
Oh, the Boston Trash Cannons, Ryan. I know you're keeping that nickname alive. They shocked the world, beating the New York Atlas, and certainly straightening out the goal differential. But I think all the other teams besides the Atlas and the Cannons, they have a negative goal differential, right? Like this is really kind of a crazy league. And as much as the Waterdogs are outsiders right now, even with their 1 win, they're still only 13-1 to win it all. Crazy. Meanwhile, Kramer's California Redwoods 35-1. Kramer, are you getting in on any Redwoods futures?
100%. I'm gonna just increase my value point. And look, you look at the goal. You bring up goal differential. There are 3 teams with a positive goal differential. We'll call them tier 1 is New York. Then you have the Trash Cannons, who I expect to regress, in Utah. But after that, basically everyone else is the same. The reason the Chaos have a lower goal differential is simply because they just play a lot of defense and they're just playing those lower scoring games. So I think the gap between the other 5, and as we know, Sean, they let almost everyone in honestly, less teams made the playoffs in my daughter's youth soccer league. 75%. Okay, Redwoods still have a chance. Of course, I'm betting a third. We learned about this in the UFL, the XFL, the USFL. What you name it. I don't know if the Mall League gave us a long shot winner, but when there are only 8 teams and a lot of them make the playoffs, weird stuff can happen.
Yeah, no, we'll see. I'm still skeptical of the Waterdogs. I am kind of worried, even with that loss, the Atlas just run away with it. CJ, before we hop into the week 7 picks, any thoughts on the futures market? We did give out Brendan O'Neill Rookie of the Year 10-1. I think that's all the way down to plus 160 over on DraftKings. So just if you're a market sharp right now, you're finding a ton of value in some of these PLL futures.
Absolutely. And of course, we've been trying to fade Teed in the MVP mark. I think the MVP mark's not even on the board anymore because there's
They
3
took
more
it
weeks to
off.
go. Even though Teed actually got shut down last week, but it still doesn't matter because he still broke the record for the best season in the history of the sport with 3 weeks to go. So I pretty much, even if he gets hurt now, I still don't think it would matter. I think he gets the MVP. But yeah, Brendan O'Neill, I'm with Ryan on those futures. Any team can still get in, although I will say he might be still calling them the Boston Trash Cannons during their championship parade in Boston as they go through.
Oh
They
my
kind of look like
God.
the best team in the league.
If they fucking roll out the duck boats for the Boston Cannons parade, I will be outraged. And then they're going to trot out that dipshit kid who's like 26. I've seen 22 titles and just add the Boston Trash Cannons to that list. That's going to be the biggest outrage of this whole thing.
Yeah.
If somehow we invest in covering this league the entire season and Boston ends up being the winner, could be the end of the PLL as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, if we can get a campaign against that dipshit kid, I'm all for that. If we can get that on some merch, anything, any hashtag, any kind of movement.
Him posing with that banner and all the titles. I just, God, everything I hate about the city of Boston. You know what I don't hate? Underdog Fantasy. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code SGPN. Get the instant deposit match up to $250 in bonus cash. And they got something that this Underdog Streaks, which they just launched. Start off with a nice little 2-0 on a pick'em, and then go on a bit of a heater. If you can get 11 in a row right pick'em wise, you can win up to 1,000x the entry. That is just insane. That is truly bonkers. Love Underdog Fantasy, going for it. And of course, giving away $15 million. Best Ball Mania. That's exciting. Get in, get the bonus cash. I will be tweeting out a PLL play later on. Either Friday or Saturday, depending on when they drop the lines. Not a lot of the fantasy projections yet for the PLL over on Underdog Fantasy, but don't worry. We will be giving out some plays as we go along. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And, of course, Circa Survivor, Circa Millions. Give CJ a run for his money in the Circa Survivor, Circa Millions. I'm going to be in it. Kramer's going to be in it. And we're all going to be hanging out over at the contest weekend, August 22nd through the 24th. Come out, sign up. Good excuse to come out, hang out at the Circa, say what's up to Derek. We got a little bar event happening there. Crack some cold ones, meet Mike Palm. Go to footballcontestproxy.com. Use the promo code SGP. Get $50 off your proxy fee. And talk them into giving the listeners nice little hotel discounts. So coming out a couple days at the Circa, make it an awesome vacation. Use that promo code SGP over at Circa Las Vegas. Get your 15% off the hotel stay August 22nd through the 24th. Promo code SGP.
All right, Sean. While you were talking, I did add the number 1 seed market to the sheet, which, again, it's getting closer. So maybe there's some value there. New York minus 175. They're 5-2. Boston with the same record is sitting at a juicy plus 250. The Trash Cannons, and Utah, who only a half game back, 5-1. So
do we know that is this like college football? Have they announced the tiebreakers for the number 1 seed, or they just figure it out when it happens?
I believe it is score differential.
Yeah, goal differential is definitely the tiebreaker because that's what they're saying with that Archer win was pretty big because with their goal differential, it's basically a 2-game lead over Chaos and Outlaws there.
If you look at the overall, like they do, if you're on the PLL website, which has a plethora of information, they not only have conference, but they have an overall tab. So you can kind of see what the seating would look like now. Surprisingly, there are no ties right now because teams have different amount of games being played. All right. Anyway, but the down the board, Denver 40-1, Chaos 75-1, Whipsnakes 150-1.
I'm just saying, forget the 1 seed, but just going back to that California playoff thing. I mean, if they win these 2 games at home this weekend,
they're right back in.
They're in the play
of the division, let alone the playoffs of first place.
Yeah,
it's
silly.
the Waterdogs are an interesting spot because they're 1-5, Redwoods 1-4. So, but then Whipsnakes are 2-4, and they're ahead of them. So I need the Whipsnakes to lose, but they're playing the Redwoods, and then I need the Redwoods to lose. I need the Redwoods to go 1-1 with one of their wins being against the Whipsnakes. But of course, Waterdogs aren't going to beat the Atlas, so why even play the rest of the season? Just pack it in, you loser ass franchise. Do they have? I see why people just trash this Waterdogs team. So much talent, completely wasted. Reminds me of the Dream Team season, where Vince Young was, of course, the one who dubbed them the Dream Team. I think it was like after they signed Ronnie Brown. He goes, "We're putting together a dream team." Oh my god! All right, Kramer, let's get to the picks. What do we got?
All right, real quick. We are playing these games at the Torero Stadium, the University of San Diego, who, of course, their football team plays in the Pioneer Football League, I believe. Most of our listeners, I'm sure, know that already. And maybe they don't know that there was a nice little drainage upgrade here back in 2008. I don't know why they highlight this on the stadium homepage, but a $250,000 drainage update 16 years ago. So feeling pretty good about that. It is being played. Like, this does look like would be a nice venue to take in some lacrosse, go hang out by the beach. Maybe, I don't know, is Demar running right now? Maybe you get some pony action. They're cooperating with the times too. We got noon and 2. Let me confirm this before I look like.
Well, the one
times,
game got moved.
Noon.
They got one game got moved back. I think our game, Chaos and Woods, got pushed back. To prime time.
Okay. TV. The network executives have entered. They've bent the lacrosse, the front office guys over, and they are inside. All right. Yeah. The Eagle has landed. Denver, the Outlaws, noon on Saturday, the 27th. Again, we're down in San Diego. They're taking on the Trash Cannons. Trash Cannons are laying the 1.5 here, -130, +135 on the money line for the Outlaws, -175 for the Cannons. 25 is the total. This is looks like it could be a little bit of an electric matchup. I'm never going to take I've kind of planted my flag on the Trash Cannon, so I'll let Sean go first. But I would happily take the points with the Outlaws in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn. I mean, one, am I just in denial about the Boston Trash Cannons, or is this not the ultimate letdown spot? They took down the Atlas. This was the game they needed. This was the game they were looking forward to, and now you get a sleepy Denver Outlaws team that people are looking past, and not so fast. I think the Outlaws could win this outright, but I'm happy to take +100 on the +1.5. So I'll take Outlaws in the points, and I'll also go over 25. I don't think either team has been playing incredible defense. 25 is a little high for an over, but I'll take it. So yeah, give me the Outlaws +1.5. And give me the over 25. What are you doing, CJ?
I definitely agree with you on this is a letdown spot for Boston. That they played their best game of the year, obviously, when they handled New York last week.
That defense was crazy.
I was just going to say, you just said they're not playing defense. I was going to disagree with you there. They played very good defense versus New York last week. Garrett Epple, especially when he shut down Jeff Teat. But I do like how
you know what? Never mind.
I like how you countered your own point, though.
No, Vegas. I have some Vegas brain. Give me the under 25. What am I doing? They held the Atlas to 12 points, and then week before they held the Outlaws to they held the Redwoods to 9.
Yeah.
But again, they lost that game. So I
absolutely
under 25.
I like that as well. I think Boston is playing defense. Asher Nolting, though, of course, my MVP guy before, he gets better and better every week. But Brendan O'Neill is back, like you said, from 10-1 to what helped was Eric Law being on his rookie being side to side. And as soon as they it was the first time they played on the same line there, and then he had as predicted by the Laxborough right here. Brendan O'Neill had his hat trick and an assist because of him. But what Denver did again is they found another rookie, an undrafted rookie, and Dalton Young, who also had a hat trick, which is going to make me go to the market board. I know Newbie's not here to drop his big whale bet, but I just want to fill in for a little bit here. I don't know, and I want to open up the market to you boys. See what you guys think about it. There is on DraftKings, they allow a first quarter anytime goal scorer market.
This is so degen. I love it.
Yes, this is it. I mean, so now you have, so this is first quarter anytime goals. And if you're watching these games, which we have nonstop, it seems like there's a lot. The first 3 quarters is kind of where all the goals get scored, and the fourth quarter has kind of been a lockdown. A lot of times you think the over's going to hit. Next, you know, it's like
park the bus.
Park the bus. 2-1.
It's like the NBA All-Star game.
Absolutely. Then they start grinding it out. And I kind of said that before the season started. The box lacrosse I was used to, you can do whatever you want. And then fourth quarter, let's keep this tight, lock it down, give the kids a show. That being said, I think you can get some good money because it's plus money for all these anytime goal scorers, and except for Marcus Holman, who's minus 110. Even our Brendan O'Neill's even money to get a goal in the first quarter. Now, this is I think he's back up to the front line. With Eric Law, he had a hat trick. I can't imagine him not getting a goal to start out the gates. And if not, even a juicier number, Dalton Young. So Dalton Young is a guy they did not draft, but he's been a phenom from Richmond. And they said they were touting him all year, and he didn't play. And he finally played. They finally played. And last week they used him differently. As soon as they would win a faceoff, he was first one out the box, and he was the one out the ball every single time. And that was their strategy, and it worked so that way you can be creative and run at the middle field. So that was their new strategy. They scored 15. He had a hat trick out of nowhere. You can get him at plus 150 to score a goal in the first quarter. Give me Dalton Young for my minor Dolphin play. I'll say not a whale play, but I don't want to step on any toes of the Oracle. But give me the Flipper Anderson plus 150. Dalton Young, Dolphin dime of the day.
Ooh, great alliteration, CJ. So you got Dalton Young, you got the under 25. Are you taking the Outlaws in the points? What are you doing?
I'm going with you. I'm taking the plus 1.5 with Denver. What is that? Even money there?
Yeah, even money. I feel like that's a good price.
That's a solid play. And then kind of like what I did last week, little shout out, wait till the Polelays comes. That's when you get to the money lines.
Boston is 5-2 to the under this season, and Cannons games versus head coach Tim Sudan of the Denver Outlaws 4-1 to the under historically. Kramer, you're on the under 25, I assume, and Denver money line or plus 1.5?
I'll take the points. And I'm gonna tail all of CJ's marine life based bets.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, come on. What are you doing here? Let's get it.
All right. So based on I've checked in a couple of places. I think our times are right here. I don't know if it's because I think the game that's on ABC was the first game.
Okay,
no,
I'm not saying it might not be the ABC game, but they definitely moved it back. I mean that's the Carolina Chaos on my Twitter feed.
Okay.
They moved it back to 5:30.
He's
okay. No, that's the times I have. I'm updated. I'm good to go.
All right.
Wait, it's 5:30 local time. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, local.
Oh, I see. Got it. All right. And the Denver game will be on ESPN, correction. The ABC games on Sunday.
Which I think should be a good game, that Denver-Boston game, honestly.
Yeah. Hopefully the trash cannons don't go back to being trash. All right, 2:30 or 5:30 here on the West Coast. It's homecoming weekend, and the Redwoods get game 2 under the lights. I like that they moved it back. Always hate when your favorite college team is playing that big game at noon kickoff. No one wants that.
All right.
Carolina, well, they bring the best goalie in the land, and they're laying 1.5 on the road here. This is a long trip for those East Coasters. Minus 140 for the privilege of that number. Minus 200 on the money line. Plus 155 for my Redwoods. Foam Bear Claw is going to be sweet. 21.5 is the total. All right, they must listen to the show. This is what they should be doing with the Blaze totals. CJ, what's your angle this week?
Well, first of all, I don't think 21.5 is nearly enough of an adjustment. I mean, I'm waiting for this number to be in the teens. This is crazy. First of all, you're dealing with the California Redwoods offense. It's just in general, even it wasn't going against Blaze. And don't forget, the first time they did play each other, they didn't face Blaze. That was Blaze's first game out. and the woods still got chopped down by the Chaos. But
Mm.
but you're right. It is a long travel. I kind of imagine Chaos taking a train and Blaze kind of like Babe Ruth or something in the back, with some ladies and hot dog and just drinking outside the train as it takes them a week and a half to get across.
Similar build as Babe Ruth. We should just call him Blaze Ruth. I mean, similar the great Blazino.
The Blazino. I'm already the bomb. They call me the Bombino over my show when I talk baseball. So I like the Blazino as well. That being said, I got some more stuff for this game. Two of the most exciting lefties. I know you'll like that, guys. You guys are big lefty fans. Josh Byrne and Ryder Garza, maybe the most creative, entertaining players. But Carolina, their offense also not too great. But they've got a little bit of transition there with the McKay and Zach Yates. But But with Byrne, you'll like this. Here's some glossary. He's one of the only players who can work top side from a screen, bully through the defense, and a casual behind the back tally. Or that's what he did last week. And he's one of the only players in the world that can do that. Now, California, Ryan, they got a guy named Ricky Meason, who they love. Former Stanford linebacker. But they're misusing him. So they're saying it's too late to revamp this roster because they're a mess. They don't have an identity. They don't have they just don't know what's going on there. This guy had 123 tackles in college football, 14.5 for loss. So they put him on defensive midfielder, which is a mistake. Now, football players do make a transition to lacrosse, but usually if you want to play defense, you want like a D-back, someone who can backpedal, who can match feet with the opposite mid stickers, if you will. But since a linebacker runs downhill, and he can pursue and shed blocking. That's the kind of downhill dodger that you want to put him up front. You put him up front. Apparently, he's a beast. He can't be stopped. And his 2 appearances, he's only had 4 touches and 1 shot. So if they bring this linebacker up front, I think they can finally break loose. I kind of like what you were saying. I kind of like California plus the 1. First of all, Carolina. I love Carolina. They shouldn't be laying 1.5 to anybody. I'll take the 1.5 with California, but mainly I'm on a Blaze under autoplay until further notice. 21.5, not nearly the adjustment necessary. Last week it was 19, and that was with overtime, and that wasn't going against the putrid California Redwoods.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen a shutout this season, but I would not be surprised if you can find a alt team total on the Redwoods. Redwoods aren't getting to 6 goals. I think we saw the Outlaws put up 4 one game against the New York Atlas. I wouldn't be surprised if this is low single digits. I don't like laying 1.5 goals with the Chaos because, again, they are an old school lax team, ground and pound, play defense, don't score a ton of points. You don't need it. Control the ball at all costs. This is going to be a 10-5 game. Give me the Chaos. Chaos reigns supreme. Roll. I mean, they're just going to chop down the Woods, no problem. Give me the under 21.5 and Carolina minus 1.5.
Clearly, the Redwoods coach seems to not know what he's doing. That he kind of has that a little bit of a Robert Saleh look where he's just always a little confused. Like, all right,
yeah,
see that didn't go as well as I thought it would. But CJ, you mentioned how the Redwoods didn't go against Blaze. Mm-hmm. They didn't. They went against some other schmuck. And the referees. This is a revenge spot for that horrible call down. They didn't review it for no reason. The announcers didn't get it. No one got it. So yeah.
Good point.
Come on, taking the 1.5, and we're all gonna just. Is this the one we mushed this week? The Blaze under worked for us last week. Everything else we agreed on was not very good.
We single-handedly jinxed the Atlas. It was pretty awesome.
I know, that was pretty amazing. And that was the game I was most confident in.
even with me trying to avoid locking it up because Kramer put it in his locks, we still managed to completely jinx that. Shout out to Filet Fish in the chat saying, you guys realize football will be back in about a month. No need to bet on this sissy sport. Tell that to Rob Pennell or Brendan O'Neill coming across. There's some real stick work being had out here. And meanwhile, love the NFL, love football, but you can have your cake and eat it too. PLL heating up. It's gonna it's going to be, cooling off. The PLL right when college football, NFL are heating up. So don't worry, Filet-O-Fish. We've got it figured out. Filet-O-Fish also referring to, I'm going to go on a limb and guess Kramer by describing him as scuffed Big Ben, which CJ, you're plugged in with the kids. Is scuffed mean you're super high? What does scuffed mean?
Scuffed means you're a little rougher around the edges, kind of like you fell off your skateboard, if you will, growing up. You got some scabs, kind of like the kind of a white trash version.
To apply that to Big Ben, it's not like
right.
He was clean cut. Mr. He wasn't Gallant of Goofus and Gallant. Highlights magazine reference for those who participated in that great literature back in the day.
How many pro athletes are you compared to on the regular, Sean?
I actually got a lot. Thanks to my 3-point stance photo that went viral. 10 of 4 a.m. aka 3:51. Just getting down to sweet 3-point stance. Getting ready for our Follow the Money show, 4 a.m. West Coast, 7 a.m. East. So yeah, I did get some comparisons to some professional athletes. Got a lot of people weighing in, breaking down my 3-point stance form, and there were some positives and some negatives. I got some stuff to work on. Like all great athletes, Ryan. I'm not happy with just being good. I want to be great. Hey, you know what else is great? I'll tell you, rhythm. That's right. Love me some rhythm. They got a ton of great picks, props, projections. I got a golf model going for 3M, the 3M Open. What's awesome about rhythm is you can just kind of dial in the stats, the trends, that kind of stuff that matter to you, right? So you can play around. Hey, recent form, how you do in par 3s, 4s, or 5s. You're adjusting it for each course. Or maybe you think recent form matters more. Whatever it is, Rhythm has you covered. Their football, both NFL and college football, that's dropping any day now. I'm hearing maybe next week. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be so fun to be dialing in, getting ready for football season, like Filet-O-Fish mentioned. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Get you covered. Get in over there. And of course, Game Time. Game Time is the place to go to get you some sweet tickets. We're out here in Las Vegas. You want to go check out the Raiders. I know USC is playing out here in Allegiant Stadium. That should be pretty fun. It's Dead and Company. I'm looking at some sweet Dead and Company tickets at the Las Vegas Sphere. And of course, you get $20 off when you use our promo code SGPN. You get the Game Time guarantee. I'm seeing some sweet sales, flash sales, zone deals. They got it all. Love Game Time. Great ticket company. Get you a great seat at a great price. GameTime.co or download the Game Time app and use that promo code SGPN. Kramer?
In case they are not subscribed on social.
Oh, I see. What's going on there? Oh, there's the picture of Sean in the 3-point stance, looking good. What do you kind of got a pulling guard? Who I'm trying to think of who you would be compared to right there. Maybe a let's see, who was it? Childress was he? Who was the guard? Who they had Bruce Matthews, kind of.
Oh yeah,
similar. Yep, I can see that. A scuffed Bruce Matthews, if you will. And I also have an update. I have an update if you really want to know the definition. According to Urban Dictionary, scuffed is of poor standards or low quality, referring to a fake and an off-brand item, usually a bootleg. So
Fugazi, if we're translating for Ryan, right. Fugazi, Big Ben.
Couple examples. Did you watch PVC's last stream? Yeah, it was pretty scuffed, Have you seen Sarah's new shoes? Yeah, they're scuffed. Is your phone broken again? Yeah, it's fucking scuffed, man. I need a new one. A couple of there. Did you see scuffed Big Ben talking lacrosse? Sure did. Thinks it's a sissy sport.
I'm of the opposite belief. I like the hitting. I mean, in a world where everything is a concussion and hey, we got to be worried about player safety. You got some grown men running around whacking each other with sticks. especially those long sticks. I like the physicality that we're seeing.
Yeah, it's open. And football players have been at these games all season long. They're partners with them almost, kind of like they're like going to the WNBA games. It's like their sister network. You know what I mean? You see, Pac-Man Jones we saw out there, all the Carolina Panthers with their explosive offense coming out there. They were all over the Chaos homecoming weekend.
Kramer, what do we got next?
So I got a little distracted. There was someone who tried to come at me on the internet and tell me that Gus Malzahn never coached Cam Newton. So I had to take a screenshot of his Wikipedia page and send it over there. I mean, what an absolute donkey move. Come on. You don't think I'm well read? Do your own work. All right. Sunday, ABC, big game. Why do they keep putting, again, the East Coast bias is unreal. The Philadelphia Waterdogs, the New York Atlas on ABC, -2.5. Why are you putting a snooze fest on? This isn't going to be a good game. A plus 110 to lay the 2.5, -140 to take it, plus 155 for the Waterdogs on the money line, -200 for the Atlas. Interesting price comparison to the Chaos in terms of when they decide to move it a number and what a point is worth on the with the juice. 27.5 is the total. My calculations would suggest that this money line for the Atlas is cheap relative to the Chaos money line. And so if you like the Atlas, you're probably better off not laying it and just doing a -200 into a parlay or something boring like that.
My calculations tell me the Waterdogs are a dead team and a dead franchise. This reminds me of the end of the Sam Bradford era in Philadelphia. Lock up the Atlas -2.5, plus 110, and take the under. 27.5 is just ridiculous. I know, and this is, I mean, classic Waterdogs luck. This is they're playing this Atlas team exactly when you don't want to play them. After they lost to the Cannons, they're going to be fired up. They're going to get up for this game. Meanwhile, the Waterdogs are a lost franchise. What's going to happen is it'll be a competitive first half. I'll be rocking my Waterdogs hat, sitting in the office, talking myself into a playoff run. We took down the Atlas. Oh no. And then the third quarter will hit. And then that's when the shit hits the fan in Waterdogville. This team falls apart in the second half. I don't know what it is. To me, it's coaching. I know.
Wow. He's a legend.
Every sideline interview is just what a legend this guy is. Yeah, Bill Belichick was also a legend, but he's also out of a job. All right. Part of being a legend is knowing when the story is over. Case closed. Jesus. Waterdogs suck. Lay the 2.5 and take the under 27.5. I can almost tell you the exact score. It will be 15-12. Atlas win, Atlas cover, another heartbreaking loss for the Philadelphia Waterdogs.
Wow. You kind of want to pull like a you're like a Jerry Jones coming in and firing Tom Landry first day on the job. Get the hell out of here, legend. Take you and your hat and hit the bricks because we are cleaning house.
He was right. Get rid of him.
You let him retire is what we're trying to say. You don't do an oil man firing, for crying out loud. My mom never recovered from that. She was a big Roger Staubach fan. Anyway, point is, go ahead.
Go ahead, CJ.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say Sean trying to Biden the poor Waterdogs head coach.
Oh no! Put in Kamala. She can win.
But you're right, Ryan. They are on national TV every week. They're like the Jets last year. We can't get rid of them. They were with all these big hopes for them. And all of a sudden, week 1, Rodgers goes down. Like, good God, how many games did we schedule them for national TV? 9 more, dear Lord. And now these Waterdogs are on our TV every week, getting ran up and down. I kind of agree with you. They got no fight left. I do like Sowers. He's still scoring 4.3 points a game. But this is a bad time to get New York off of a terrible loss after they're going to want to flex their muscle. And who better than this oversought, actually waterlogged, if you will, the Philadelphia Waterlogs. Give me New York. I know that, and then our man Newbie would say usually you take the 2.5. That's an auto play. like
Not when you get the Waterlogs.
like splitting aces,
I mean,
or something. But no,
th-
not
there- this
with
is
the Waterlogs.
this is just how crazy this league is. The Outlaws are 3-2. Their goal differential is -10. Waterdogs 1-5 with a -5 goal differential. Like they should just if they just did the playoffs by goal differential, Waterdogs would be in easily. If they're gonna miss the playoffs because they can't figure out how to win a game. It is
complete loser mentality there.
It really
typical
is.
Philly fan loser mentality there.
It's vanity. So CJ, are you laying the 2.5 with the Atlas, right?
Interesting. I kind of like what Kramer was saying there. It does seem like a cheap money line for a 2.5. I was shocked when I first saw the money line. I saw bet line at a -195. So it's weird. It was wild that was 2.5. I'll still lay the 2.5. I don't care. I think Philly's goal differential will go back up with a -10 after this week. I don't think this game's gonna be close.
What about total? Any thoughts on the total? CJ?
I like the under there, 27.5. I mean, there's no way I'm playing over 27.5 regardless. New York did their part last week. They're gonna flex out, but I don't see how Philly scores 10 goals.
This game's not going to help you sell the sport. It's going to be a slaughter. I do agree with the money line is cheap. Like I said, I'll probably throw it in my Polay later, but you gotta lay it. I'm not going to give out a -200 here. Also worth noting, the 2.5 point dogs are only 3-2 on the season. Based on our sheet when we record the show. So it's not exactly like it's a runaway train. And Newbie keeps pointing out that it's come back to the pack. So that tells me that if I were to break the trend down by year, it was probably really good the first year. And maybe it's been right around 500 ever since. Of course, I'm on the under as well, Sean. Thanks for asking.
Well, and the Redwoods Archers last week, when we picked it, Redwoods were +1.5, +110, but then that did end up moving to 2.5. So I don't know if that counts towards the trend or not, but you're right. It does feel like it's maybe come back down to earth, certainly a little bit, but it was strong early on in the season. We got one more game left.
Yeah, I didn't include that, so it would have been 3-3. So if we include that one, it's 3-3 on the season. This is the 7th game, so I don't think you're taking anything away from that one. It's coin flip. All right, last one, 2:30 on the West Coast. Honestly, they could have picked any game that would have been a better display on ABC. You're not even going to show the game where the crowd's going to have all the bear claws. Like, what are you doing, television executive? You don't know ball. You don't know pole either. Whipsnakes, Redwoods, second game of the weekend for the Redwoods. We'll call it a softer opponent, in my opinion. Whipsnakes have been an interesting team. -1.5 here, -130 on for the spread, -190 on the money line. Again, highlighting how cheap the Atlas money line is once again. +145 coming back with the Redwoods. 22.5 is the total. And again, the fact that the Redwoods total with Blaze is only 1 point lower than the total with the Whipsnakes tells you everything about how this market is still wrong on Blaze, that like there should be a gap there. We're probably going to be discussing a Redwoods double money line Polay a little bit later in the show. But yeah, obviously I'm taking my Redwoods. I'm taking the under again. And after this weekend, Sean, we're going to be 2 games north of your trash Philadelphia Waterdogs.
I'm actually going to take the over here because Maryland's been pretty good to the over, 4-2 on the over. This matchup in and of itself, 4-1 to the over with 4 straight overs. But you're right. Maryland hasn't been good as a favorite. I just don't like, who is this Whipsnakes team to be laying 1.5? I understand the Redwoods are pretty bad, but I think still this second game in the homecoming, they can figure out to hang around, and you're getting +1.5 at +100. Maryland should not be laying 1.5 goals. I think we might actually see a bit of offense in this matchup. 22.5 to me feels way too low. So yeah, give me the over here, 22.5, and give me the Redwoods +1.5, +100. What are you doing, CJ?
I love California in this game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I like them in the home. Although have we ever actually used the data what happens with these homecoming teams in our second game. I think it's just been such a crapshoot because the team's been bad, or there's always been some kind of monkey in a wrench kind of situation. But I think, like you said, I don't think Maryland's any good. To be honest, I mean, I know California is the worst team by far, no doubt about it. But at home, finally in California, they don't have to travel cross country. They finally teams are coming their way. I like Robbie Pinnell. I like them putting on a show for the kids. Ryan, I don't know if you broke it to your kids yet that we will not be making a trip down there for homecoming weekend. I know they're excited. They had the bear claw prints. They had everything all printed out and the outfits. And we're not going to be taking the coastal train ride down there. But looking at this situation here, I like California. I kind of like the 22.5 is a good number there for the over. It's hard to take any California over, but I think this might be a show. I think this might be the last thing going out. They're gonna lose a squeaker to the chaos. I'm gonna try to thread the needle there in that first game, taking the 1.5 of California, but Carolina gets the win, and I think they should be favored in this game. So I'm not even taking the 1.5. I'm taking plus 150 on California. I'll take the over 22.5, and I'll toss in a little Ryder Garzi first period anytime goal at plus 120.
Woo! Ryder Garzi. First quarter goal. Love that, CJ. Love that we're getting. I mean, we did pretty well in the first touchdown market, and now we got to try and conquer the first quarter goal scoring market.
The first quarter anytime is just it's just a great market to say.
Yeah, it is just so fun and so DJ. All right, time for lock, and Polay. Polay. Kramer, what do we got?
I was actually just doing a little bit of a deep dive on the tickets for my Redwoods homecoming. It looks like there's going to be a pretty good crowd. There are not a ton of tickets available not like some of these other weekends when I've taken a look and basically every ticket was still available for sale. So I think we might actually see a decent crowd down there in Cali. No, but don't worry. The kids have already used up the time. We're going to the OC Fair, baby.
Oh, nice.
Just right in the back of the head, please. All right, give me a lot. We already talked about. We got to lock up Blaze every time under.
Okay,
so we're gonna keep doing that. And I think I want to just the letdown spot's going to be so strong. Give me this Outlaws team. I didn't get to say it earlier, but we talked about this earlier in the season that this was a young team that was going to get better every week. And they're going to play their best ball at the end of the season, their best lacrosse at the end of the season. So yeah, lock them up. Do I lock up the money line or do I I'll take the plus 1.5, plus 100. And for the Polay, Redwoods money line, Redwoods money line, and then we'll go Atlas money line and Denver money line. 4-banger. Let's go. Feeling good in Vegas. The slot's been great for me. We'll tell we'll save the slot stories maybe for the team previews coming up next week. But oof, the slot's been hot, baby. 4-legger, we're hitting it. And oh, by the way, Sean, you didn't bring it up, but we got told we were repugnant for making dick jokes on VSiN.
Yeah, one of the listeners did not like the tail of the tape where we measure our parlay tickets and make some phallic jokes. I'm locking up the New York Atlas minus 2.5. Great bounce back spot against my dead named Waterdog team. For my other lock, I'm gonna go. This is interesting. I do like the Blaze under. Yeah. Let's toss in the Blaze under. Well, I said I'm going to keep locking that up until it doesn't hit, so I got to stick to my word. Atlas laying 2.5 for first lock, and then the Chaos Woods under 21.5 for my parlay. Give me Carolina laying 1.5 against the Redwoods. Give me New York at. You know what? Actually, let's delete that. Here we go. Yes, sorry, Carolina. minus 1.5. Give me Denver plus 1.5, and then give me the over 22.5 in the Maryland California game. Nice little 3-teamer there. Get you paid. CJ, what do you got?
Nice little parlay for sure. I forgot to ask you guys how the fan blowback has been for Follow the Money week. Usually you get some good tweets, and profane is pretty great.
Repugnant was
Repugnant,
the
I'm
exact
sorry.
wording. Yeah, very, very funny, very old guy. This is repugnant.
Honey,
I
they're
got-
talking about their dicks on the TV.
Yeah, you just want to hear some win totals, and this guy's talking about goddamn.
Cracking wise.
Oh man! All right, I'll start off first lock. Denver plus 1.5 versus Boston. Letdown spot versus Boston. We'll take the even money plus 1.5. Also, of course, I toss a side in there. Just side little play there. Dalton Young first period anytime there plus 150. Also, Denver's 10-1 on the futures market there. They've only played 5 games somehow, and they're 3-2. And with 5 games under their belt, California and Denver are the only ones that have played 5. Other teams have played 7 for crying out, mostly 6. We split up. So I think 10-1 is a nice price on Denver, especially with Brendan O'Neill. He's starting to come on again. It's up and down roller coaster season. So we'll take that first game out of the gate, Denver plus 1.5. That's how we'll get started. And then lock it up with the Carolina under till the wheels fall off on that one until further notice. No need to rehash the points on that. That is just a lock that should already be credited in my account as a W. Now, the Polay. We got a three-teamer Polay. That's an 8-1 payoff. Not too shabby for a PLL weekend. We're going to go back to that Denver game. We're going to win outright plus 140. We just took the 1.5 for the lock. We'll do plus 140 to beat Boston, Denver. Toss in a little New York meat in there to minus 200, just to keep the adhesive to keep it together, kind of like a Taco Bell taco. You need that beans to keep it together there.
The chalupa.
Yeah, the chalupa, absolutely, or the double shell, the soft shell, and hard shell, the beans that keeps it to stick. The adhesive. New York minus 200 plus, and then we'll finish it off. Last game of the weekend there, California plus 150 to win outright against those garbage Whipsnakes. Yeah, that's a 3-team Polay. Denver, California, New York, 8-1 that pays off. And of course, what did I have? I also gave out a first period anytime for Ryder Garnsey.
Let's get it. Hey, Sunday night, 8:30 Pacific. We are starting our 32 NFL previews live on the YouTube channel. Get them wherever you get your pods. It's going to be very fun. Make sure you subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. CJ Sullivan dropping some bombs left and right. Look out. Keep your head on a swivel. Kramer and I closing that out strong. Follow the money, 7 a.m. East. VSiN or wherever you get your I think it's on Nessun as well. You can get it on YouTube TV. Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Roll Woods.
Kramer. Let it ride.